Hi and welcome to today's NetBeez live demo. Today we're talking about how NetBeez works with the SNMP, so more specifically the SNMP integration. First, let's have a quick review about the Simple Network Management Protocol. This is the traditional network monitoring protocol that is used to verify the status of network devices such as routers, switches, but also servers and other network endpoints. SNMP was developed in early 80s and is still an actual network monitoring tool that is really important to understand the status of network devices. The way it works is that a centralized server periodically polls devices to check the status of their resources. The poll is also called SNMP GET, which is used by the server to query information on a network endpoint. And the query is run by specifying the object identifier of the variables that the poller wants to know about. So for example, an object ID could be the server CPU, or in case of the switch, the bytes transmitted on a specific interface, and so on. So then the client, which is the device itself, reports that data to the server, and then the server does whatever wants to do with that data. But there is another way for SNMP to work is by sending SNMP traps. So this is different. It's not the server sending the trap, but is in this case the monitor device. So the router, the switch, or the server can send a trap to the SNMP receiver, is called in this case, to notify about something that is going on the system. So of course the rules that decide when to send a trap are defined by the operator, by the network administrator. But take as if like SNMP trap as a way to say, hey, I have a problem, please come and check. So to show a kind of diagram of how SNMP GET and trap work, let me show you first the SNMP GET. You can see in this case there is the server, which is the SNMP poller, runs an SNMP GET against the SNMP agent, and here we can have, for example, a router and a switch, and then the agent returns the value. So in this case, you can see that the server is requesting the system name of the endpoint, and the endpoint then returns its own name. In this case is pit router. You can see there are other variables in the query, such as the community, the version of the query, and this is the actual OID that identifies the resource to be queried. SNMP trap is a little different. As you see here, in this case, the agent, so the monitor device, sends a trap or a notification to the receiver, which is the server. Generally, the server could be the same where it runs the SNMP poller. Sometimes are different. It really depends from the configuration. But you can see here the message trap and then the trap ID, that this defines the specific message that is being sent from the agent to the receiver. So let's talk more about the SNMP data, or the way that resources such as in the GET and the trap are encoded. Such resources are defined by MIBs, which stand for Management Information Base, and it's nothing more than a MIB, a file that defines the specific queries or traps that devices can exchange. For this reason, the YANA has created and maintains a tree of MIBs that are organized in a hierarchical way. So here you can see the tree of the main branches, right? So for example, we have NetBeez, we have our own MIB and vendor ID in this case. So you can see that to refer to the NetBeez MIB in the kind of global hierarchy, you have to go down through the tree. So 1361 41 44523. So that's the way to identify in the tree the NetBeez MIB, for example. And within that MIB, we have our own specific queries that devices can exchange. If you want a full list, here I send the link So you can check that out. So let's talk about the NetBeez integration with SNMP. So NetBeez clearly is a network monitoring tool that does its own active testing with dedicated hardware and software agents. The agents then report the data to the server, and the server really is the controller that orchestrates and manages all these agents and the test running, and then with the data return, it will, display that data on the dashboard, and then will create alerts. So here's how we use the SNMP integration. We can use SNMP to send traps to an external third-party tool for example, ticket escalation, or to send notification, or for example, to maybe integrate with another SNMP tool. So the integration bottom line will send traps to third-party systems, and these traps will at the moment notify on alerts or incidents, so problems in the network that have been open or closed, right? So for instance, could be a trap like my ping test has crossed the 150 millisecond watermark, and I'm sending an alert on the dashboard and via the SNMP trap to a third-party server. So to use the SNMP NetBeez integration, you have, of course, to download our own MIB, which we made it available on GitHub. You can also find this URL on our online documentation, just in case. And you'll have to import that MIB on your trap receiver, so the external third-party system, so that system can translate the OID, which is a dotted number in the end, to an actual message that is human readable, and that's what a MIB is. Maybe I can show you quickly how the MIB looks, but let's first see how the NetBeez integration works. I'm here on the NetBeez dashboard, and you can see this is the bus tab. So to configure the SNMP integration, I'm going to the NetBeez settings, which is the top right cog. And then here under the SNMP notification settings tab, I have to enable the notification, but before doing so, you have to specify, for example, a server, a trap port, which, if I'm correct, by default is 162. The version 2C is the most commonly used, and then the community, which is almost like an authentication, a password, but of course version 3 then has more encryption and more security settings. V2C is fairly simple. If you know the community, you can send traps, bottom line, to this system. Once you have done that, you can enable the notification and then save. And voila, now the NetBeez server will send when an alert or an incident is raised or clear, will send this notification to your third-party system. With this, we're done for today's NetBeez live demo. We talk about the NetBeez SNMP integration. If you want to learn more about this specific feature integration, you can always consult the online documentation. Thank you very much and have a great day.